We're ready to go up. I think I'm gonna carry this bad boy up. And then the next panel we raise is the biggin. This is the first and only full width, full length panel on this wall. And it's gonna be a monster. So I'm kinda happy we did a test run with the backhoe on this little guy because that was half the size. So I've never hugged a porcupine, but I think I can envision what it feels like.
Wait a second.
Oh, that's way better.
Is that cheating? Now what? Oh, good porcupine dismount. Oh, it's caught on the plastic. Nice. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh,
oh yeah.
That's pretty good.
Dun, dun, dun.
Good potatoes.
Good potatoes.
Do you want it on the apron? Okay.
You think we need to move that brace above your head right there?
Okay. It's not going anywhere, right? Scary. There goes my screw. Really, it just needs to come down.
Yeah. We'll get there. We're almost there.
This is possibly the hardest panel on this entire frame because it's the biggest. We're doing it with 2 people and a backhoe. And the next big panels we're gonna have a crane for and a crane operator. So Jesse and I will get to work together to get them in place. You're on.
Can you come over here while holding that strap and just tilt it back just a hair?
Okay.
Up there.
I think it'll go. So, oh, there you go. It's in.
This is actually happening right now. Okay, pulling you back in.
Thanks, love. That's
bet.
the first. I think our relationship just took it to a new
It
level.
did.
I have to admit, guys, this is the first wall. I'm a wee bit nervous. Nervous isn't the right word, but I'm curious to see how the French door window arrangement looks all said and done.
So this is kind of like open space.
Right.
Living room, dining room, but this is like a hallway.
Yeah.
You know, so.
Let's just say I did my best and I think it's gonna look fine. If we put a wood stove in the house for atmosphere, it will go right there, all the way up to the peak of the roof.
That's why we did that. We left that wall space. I mean,
Yep.
We have so little wall space in the living room already. The only wall space we have will be the interior wall. Otherwise, there's no wall space on the outside of the house. I mean, it's all glass.
We have the second one to do, right?
Nope.
Oh, just one?
There's no chase on
You're
the other
right.
side, right?
You're right.
So I think we only made it so that we could put lights above the windows if we wanted to.
Correct.
But there's nothing in that fatty panel. Ready.
Here we go.
So Alyssa jumped out to do some smoothie making, peanut butter, banana. I'm sure she'll create some sort of magic. In that time, I hope to have the next panel knocked out and ready to go up. Something we learned on the other walls is that having these interior spline screws sticking out when we slide the panel up there becomes problematic, because as we try to slide this panel over, there's going to be a post right here and all of these screws will get hung up. But we can't put them in either because the splines that go in here are actually mounted to the other panel. So what's cool about this wall is that it's kind of a hybrid of everything we've already learned. So we've kind of got through some of the hard stuff and now we're kind of, I don't know, working quickly, I guess. The nice thing is that these screw holes are already pre-started, so putting the screws in when the panel is up there will be much easier. We also have at the top of this panel the knee brace coming down on both sides, so we pretty much can't have any screws hanging out on the inside when this panel goes up, otherwise we'll just have a nightmare. It's like we have a vertical chase and then one horizontal chase in this panel. So we need to drill the king stud. It looks like at about 23 3/8 to the center of that chase. Looks like I already got it done, except for I have no idea what 26.5 is for. See, I made a mistake. I measured from the bottom of the panel to the chase, but that is a king stud that goes 3 inches up. So 26.5 minus 3 is 23.5.
Hopefully it'll keep us powering through the dark. It's not bad.
It's just fine.
Sweet.
Tastes mighty fine. So I'm cruising on this panel. If you want to jump in and help me.
Yeah.
We just need to put screws on the lumber side.
Okay.
Here, it's sure to be drilled. It looks like we just need screws on the outside of the spline, the OSB spline, top and bottom.
Gotcha.
And we should be ready to go.
Sweet.
Well, our garage door guy just stopped by. They have our garage doors in stock. We had them hold off on bringing them out because we weren't ready. We don't have anywhere to put them. But we've got everything framed up, and I wanted them to swing by and just look at everything and make sure there's no issues. That in fact, when they come to install them, they'll be able to. Well, guess what? There's issues. I don't know if you guys remember, but way back almost 6 months ago when we were thinking about doing the concrete slab, we had to think about the garage doors when we were talking about doing the concrete slab. Actually, clear back when we were working on the plumbing below the slab, because we didn't quite have enough drop in the sewer line. So we were talking about raising the slab in order to get enough drop in the sewer line. But when you do that, you encroach on the garage. And as it is, we have 9-foot garage doors. And when you jump to a 9-foot garage door, the track clearance height, that's the height between the header opening and where the track installs, is 16 inches. So we couldn't really move the slab up, but just a tiny little bit. Let me kind of show you what we just found out. So way back when we installed these sill plates, it escaped my notice that the garage track is going to mount to the inside of this SIP, and it needs to be able to, the door needs to be able to come all the way down to the concrete. So we're going to have to notch this sill plate out 1.5 inches to allow the door to actually go all the way down and reach the slab. Of course, you can see that we've got the Titan anchors in here, and we don't really have a lot of room to move. So it's going to be a precarious surgical operation to try to get enough of this sill plate removed to allow the door to go all the way to the ground. On this little sill plate between the man door and the 8-foot door, it's even worse. Because this sill plate is so small, there really isn't that much room in here to anchor it to the foundation, to the slab. So I think we're going to have to remove this anchor and put a new anchor in right next to it, and then do some surgery to the sill plate. But I need to think about this a little bit, because I want to make sure that we've got a good connection here to the slab. And if we start moving this anchor over here, man, there's not really that much strength if you put two anchors so close together. So it looks like before our garage doors can go in, we've got at least a solid half day modifying sill plates and making some adjustments. But after that, it sounds like they can get the doors installed and our garage will be secure finally. Are you ready to go up?
Yeah.
All right, this panel is ready to fly.
I'm not gonna lie, I love seeing my raincoat hanging on our timber frame with the wall behind it.
What do you think? You want to try to knock out the rest of this wall?
I'm willing to try. What about you?
Yeah.
I think work until a reasonable time. And to me, I think we could still work.
I think we got a good system.
I don't think we need to pull an all-nighter either, so work until we're starving and then we'll go eat.
Yeah, we don't need the backhoe until the very last panel.
Oh, sweet.
Great.
Right.
So everything else we can carry up here by hand and install by hand. I think that'll go really well. I think there's a little hot knifing left to do, a couple panels.
Couple panels.
That's it.
Hey, Butterball. How nice of you to come out.
I think the motto for today was head down, do work. So we've got a bunch of panels ready. Alyssa's already got a couple of window panels up there. These are the in-between panel for the window and the door. That's the over door panel. And I think she's already got the under door panel up there. So we basically have that little guy, this little guy, and one panel on top right there. That's the last panel on the south wall. That's all that's left. We got an issue though. It's getting late. It's about 7 o'clock and we have to pick up our milk. Our milk guy is kind of in a weird predicament. His business is growing quite a bit because a local dairy closed down that sold raw milk. And so he's the only real abundant raw milk provider in the area. They're getting a bit stingy though. They want us to pick the milk up the day we're expected to. So we have to go get it today. We can't hold it over till tomorrow. That's good news though, because that means more ice cream. Yeah, never sad to pick up milk.
More rum then, if that's the case.
And more rum. So we're gonna try to knock out the installation on what panels we have prepped right now, which should pretty much get us down to 3 panels. One window, upper, lower, and then the final panel. That final panel is gonna take a little while because we have to kind of shoehorn it in there with the backhoe. Using the method that we're using to put panels up, it's gonna be touchy. It's gonna be touchy.
Is this the last of the mastic?
We're out of mastic. We're out of long screws. And we're out of time.
I don't even know if we have enough to finish.
I think we do. Okay, let's go get these installed and we can get out of here. Are you helping? Sure get a lot of your butt in this camera. Do you know that? Seems like your butt's always pointed at the camera. This is going for her first panel today. Oh yeah, right on the shoe. Seems like this panel that we put in, this kind of shorter panel, has all kinds of problems. Look at the gap between those two panels. It's like a good ½ inch gap, but that's what it took to get the panel plumb. And this huge gap at the bottom right here. This panel's all over the place. A little more love, she says.
That's pretty good there.
Yeah, it looks fine down here.
That's pretty good there.
You know what's weird?
Wow. I should have done all these. Just kidding.
Well, you know what's weird, and I don't really like it.
Wow, can I screw this? It's
Actually,
like
you know
perfect.
what? That's fine. It's weird. So over here underneath the door, see the gap below that panel? That gap's pretty consistent. Well, till right there. Then they're tight. Isn't that something? And then over here it gets tight right there, and then it's gapped right there. All right, panel in.
Try the tall panel?
Yeah, we need to put the tall guy right there, and then we can put the header in. My goodness, Alyssa's ready for business.
Do I want to install which?
No, Chase,
Okay.
over here. Yeah. Well. Wants to slide. Up. Good.
That's all you get for tonight, guys, but it's pretty good. Now hump the gap closed.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Looking good.
Check for level.
Yeah,
Get the ladder over.
grab the level real quick. Thank you.
Tell me what I want to hear. Right on the money.
Oh, right about there. Right about there. Oh yeah. Hey, I can even see through the chase.
I think I went up or something.
Yep. Come on. Settle down. Settle down.
Well, there she is. Pretty hard to see in the dark, but we did pretty good.